What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. Before I do crack on though with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, you want to help to support my channel, then do subscribe. We've got plenty more City, plenty more transfer content to come for you guys to enjoy. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Social media links there in the description below, and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorship for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Leave a thumbs up too if you do enjoy this video. 100 likes is the aim, so if we can hit that, then that would be fabulous. Also, don't forget as well, most importantly, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below of what you've made of Man City's efforts in the window, including scoring Manchester City's efforts out of 10. Let me know in the comments below and why you've given that score. Finally, I just wanted to give a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is once more brought to you by Manscaped. That sponsored all of my daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout the winter January transfer window, and the review is no different. I've got code JSGC, which will get you 20% off the Manscaped website. You can go and check that out. Links and details there in the description. Manscaped providing all things for grooming, including the fabulous Lawnmower 4.0 that you can go and check out. You've got beard trimmers, you've got nose trimmers, you've got travel toiletry bags. So many good products. Go and check them out. Links and details there in the description. Remember, use code JSGC at checkout and get 20% off your basket. So let's crack on with this video. And firstly, we're going to start with the only incoming to Manchester City. And the player hasn't even arrived at Manchester City yet. They're not going to be here until some point this month. And that is Maximo Perrone, that Manchester City brought in for £8.2 million from Velez Sarsfield over in Argentina. City did have an original agreement, if you remember, with his release clause. And Manchester City have ended up paying, I think, just under £1 million extra to make sure that we can split the payments rather than one lump sum. Man City weren't really bothered about whether they do two payments, so those payments can be put on different books, so to speak. I presume it'd be two equal payments, £4.1 million now, £4.1 million next year. So on the books, instead of it reading £7 million, whatever the release clause was, on the books it now reads £4.1 million for this year and £4.1 million for next year. We spoke in more detail when City confirmed the transfer. So Maximo Perrone, he's a central midfielder, covers a lot in defensive midfield, going to provide competition from now until the end of the season at the very least for the City first team squad. He's going to be training in and around the first team squad. I'm hoping we're going to see him feature at least on the bench, maybe even make a couple of appearances towards the end of the season. Would be fantastic to see what Perrone can do. But adding some fresh blood, adding an upcoming talent from Argentina, in my opinion, I think City here have got themselves a very good player. What the future holds for him, I do not know. I suspect City want to loan him out. They wanted to loan him out in this window, but he said he wants to fight for his place and train around the first team squad, so City are happy for him to do so. If he can impress, then he could have pre-season with City and he could kick on from there and potentially spend another season around the first team squad and getting some more appearances on the football pitch for the City first team squad, or he could be loaned out to a club. We'll wait and see, but that's the only incoming that City have brought in the January winter transfer window. Let's not forget this is a window that's seen Chelsea spend very, very big addressing some of their problems in their squad and invested a lot of money. Man City chosen to be quite quiet. They've let one senior first team player leave without replacing them, and there are more rumours that I'll speak about in my next transfer update, potentially seeing maybe 2 or 3 more first team players leaving in the summer too. So City, whilst already needing 2 or 3 positions, could well be needing a good 5 or 6 players, and City aren't the best team at replacing players in a prompt manner, but that's a video for another time. So incomings, I'm happy with Maximo Perrone. Would have been nice to see City address the fullbacks or bring a player in, but not to be. So yeah. Now moving on to the outs, we've seen some players leave on loan, so we'll cover them first. Kayky left to go to Manchester City's partner side in Brazil, part of the City football group, the CFG Bahia. So Kayky's joined them on loan. We saw Joshua Wilson-Esbrand at the beginning of the window join Coventry City in the Championship on loan. Letting Cancelo leave, we could have could have done with keeping Joshua Wilson-Esbrand, to be honest, but there we go. Hope he has a really good loan. We saw Liam Delap recalled from his loan at Stoke City. He's joined Preston North End in the Championship on loan. Luke Mbete, he left his loan at Huddersfield in the Championship to join Bolton, who are doing very well in League One at this moment in time, currently sitting in a playoff place. He's joined them on loan until the end of the season. We've also seen Morgan Rogers join Blackpool in the Championship. So lots of northern teams and lots of northwest-based teams either in the Championship or doing well in League One. So lots of valuable experience there for Manchester City's young players in the men's game, because I'd rather these players be playing regular first-team football at League One and Championship level rather than playing in the EDS side. I think there's more for these players to develop and more to learn on them loans. So I'm pretty happy with that. Could have done with keeping Wilson-Esbrand, but you know, hindsight is a wonderful thing. Now we're seeing another player leave on a permanent basis. The only Manchester City player to leave on a permanent basis in this window was Diego Rosa. Unfortunate not to see him, but he went over to Bahia joining Kayky. Kayky's gone out on loan, and Diego Rosa's gone for a small fee to Bahia on a permanent transfer. It is undisclosed. I think it was under £1 million, the transfer. So he leaves Manchester City to go back to Brazil along with Kayky. And I wouldn't be surprised in the next 12 months if Kayky does do well with Bahia, that he ends up there on a permanent basis too. But we will see. Now, getting on to the real meat of the video, the biggest outgoing and the biggest transfer involving Manchester City in the January winter transfer window was Joao Cancelo. On the penultimate day of the transfer window, we heard rumours that Cancelo was close to joining Bayern Munich, and then by the early parts of transfer deadline day, the transfer had been complete. It's a loan deal until the end of the season. Cancelo's not ruling out that he may come back to Manchester City. He just wanted regular playing time. He's holding nothing against Pep, are the official words that have been said from Joao Cancelo. Man City's statement when Cancelo had left was a bit sceptical, to say the least, so I feel like there's probably something been said and happened behind closed doors. It's private. It's going to remain private, even though people are trying to release what's in public. You don't know what has been said as a fact. But at the end of the day, Cancelo said he wanted regular playing time. He's looked frustrated on the bench, and I think that is the case. And he's going to get regular playing time, it seems, with Bayern Munich. So if he impresses out on loan from now until the end of the season, then the worst case scenario, Man City will be able to accumulate a lot of money for Cancelo if we are to sell him. But there could be another space in the squad if Man City between now and the end of the season think they want to go with a back four instead, because if we're going to be playing a right back or a left back as a standard right back or left back, then there is no one better out there than Cancelo. And if we do go to a back four, I don't see any point in letting Cancelo leave, who's already got 5 years left on his contract, if we're going to go back to that from next season. However, Pep Guardiola tends to be one of them people, not stubborn so much, but one of those that sticks into his ways, and he's the manager and he knows best. And if Pep Guardiola wants you to leave, he wants you to go somewhere else, in particular if you've been a first team regular who's looked a bit frustrated and things have been said, then I would be surprised to see Cancelo come back. Now, Bayern Munich do have the option to buy €70 million, which is just over £60 million. I think that's a pretty good price for Joao Cancelo, and so he will be a player that City may need to replace, more than likely, if it is to come as a replacement. And I said it was unlikely City were going to replace Joao Cancelo, and I say that because the main thing here is there's just so little time, because this transfer came about over the weekend. There's just so little time to get a proper replacement. And now City could have utilised the loan market and have a look here, because City are always interested in having a look at players, but it would have come across as a little bit desperate. A really good example is Sabitzer, that's joined Manchester United because of an injury. That's a player that they've been interested in, but they weren't going to do anything other than interest. But because there's been an injury, they'll make a move for now. So they've got the extra cover there just in case, and worst case scenario, he returns back to Bayern Munich. I don't think there's an option to buy in his loan, and Manchester United, if he does end up doing well, will want to sign him permanently, I'm sure, in the summer, whereas Man City have chosen not to do that and would rather just stick with what they've got, because quite frankly, fullbacks right now not really working. The problem is if Rico Lewis ends up dropping in form or loses his fitness or picks up an injury, we don't really have a player that's going to slot in alongside Rodri unless we're going to start utilising utilising someone like Calvin Phillips, who's also looked a bit suspect when it comes to his injuries, and so City could at any one point revert back to a back four, and if that is the case, it'd be Lewis and Walker rotating on the right hand side, and Nathan Ake and Emerick Laporte and Sergio Gomez occupying on the left hand side. So I think the one thing that City, they're taking a big risk here, is they need to keep players fit, and if they can keep players fit from now until the end of the season, I think we'll be okay. The problem is when the games are coming thick and fast. It's all fine and well right now when we're playing once a week. Once the Champions League kicks back in and we get towards the end of February and into March, goes back to every 3 to 4 days. They need to keep players injury free, and if we can stay injury free right up until we get back after the international break and into April, you can take it again from there and have a look at the squad and see what is best. But at the end of the day, Pep Guardiola's the manager. He's one of the best, if not the best in the world, and you've got to trust his instinct. He knows what he's doing, he knows what he's looking for, and if Cancelo didn't want to be here and he's not getting the regular playing time and City can't find the playing time for him, then it's best for Joao Cancelo, what he's done, to go out on loan. I think if City were interested in selling Cancelo, though, I'd rather have had an obligation rather than an option to buy, so we have the guarantee of the cash that we can start looking around. But my overall assessment of the winter window, brought in a quality young player in Perrone. We've let a world-class fullback in Joao Cancelo leave on loan. We haven't replaced Joao Cancelo. We haven't addressed any of the other issues in the squad. So I don't think Man City are going to score very high. Probably going to give it a 3 out of 10, and that's because Perrone, I'm excited to see what he can do. Now, if City had addressed one of the teething issues in the squad, they didn't even have to go out there and spend big. They could have just gone out there and brought in a really good squad player that can fill in defensive midfield or in central midfield or in a fullback area. Then, you know, these are the issues that we know we're going to have going into the summer. They keep saying players like James Maddison, we don't want to bring him in if we're not bringing in players like Jude Bellingham. But I'm almost certain that Man City will at least be signing 3 or 4 high quality players, and we could easily have brought in, we've got the money to spend, we could easily have brought at least one of them players in this window just so that was done and dusted. But City were never interested in doing so. Now, had this Cancelo thing come out at the beginning of the month, I think we'd have been in for an interesting month, and I could potentially have seen Man City doing some business by the end of the window. But because it's come about so late, I think City taking a risk but sticking with what they've got. Whether that's right or not, we'll find out at the end of the season. But so in terms of outs, it's difficult to judge. But if Joao Cancelo ends up being a tremendous success at Bayern Munich, and if they end up playing Man City and he helps to knock Manchester City out, then I'm going to be very, very angry and very disappointed. So we'll see at the end of the day, at the end of the season, whether this is right or not. But right now, I think I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 based on what I've gone through. So let me know your scores in the comments below. What do you score City's performance in the transfer market out of 10 in the winter-January 2023 transfer window? And let me know why as well in the comments below. Do leave a thumbs up too, that'd be much appreciated. Aiming for 100 likes, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Plenty more City, plenty more transfer content coming for you guys to enjoy. Social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description too if you want to go and follow me on there. And finally, this video is sponsored and it's brought to you by Manscaped.
This video is brought to you by Manscaped.com, the premium global brand for men's grooming and hygiene products. Manscaped provide the best tools, equipment and liquids for every body part. They have been kind enough to send me the new Lawnmower 4.0. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a cordless trimmer with a wireless charging system, providing 90 minutes on one full charge on the lithium-ion battery. The trimmer has LED lights on the front to show battery life and also on the trimmer for a more precise shave. Ceramic blades with skin-safe technology are provided to help reduce nicks and cuts. 4 trimmer guard options are also available to customize your hair length. The Lawnmower 4.0 is waterproof, allowing for easy cleanup. A new travel lock feature is built in to prevent vibrations whilst on the go. So come and join me and 2 million other men worldwide who trust Manscaped when it comes to keeping yourself clean and tidy. Use code JSGC for 20% off and free worldwide shipping.
Thank you very much to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. They're going to be sponsoring one more transfer update which will be up over the the next 3 or 4 days for you guys to enjoy, and then we won't have access to the code. So do go and make use of that whilst you can. Use code JSGC at checkout to get yourself 20% off all products on the Manscaped website. Go and check it out. Links and details there in the description, and I'll see you all again real soon. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.